Write fast. Okay, time. Put your pens down, put your paper down. You see, in order to be amazing, you must begin to do amazing things. How many of you want to feel amazing? And how often do you want to feel amazing? All the time, that's right. So to be successful, you need to begin to practice this I can, I will, right? Internal conversation in your head. Go ahead and switch. Okay, it also has to do with communication. The way that you talk to yourself. And who's in charge of that conversation? I am, that's right, you are. You're in charge of your conversation. Go ahead. From the moment I was born, the moment you were born, communication has been the largest single factor that has determined the quality of relationships and the direction of your life. It's the way that you talk to yourself. So if you have a self-defeating conversation going on in there, what happens? You become self-defeated, deflated, lazy. Go ahead. So, this is some examples of the conversation. I am capable of accomplishing my goals. I can create my own future. I have the right intention. I'm eager to learn every day. I plan my day. I am valuable. Next. Okay? I recognize opportunity and I give it 100%. And not 90%. Not 95%. 100%. You go for it. Because when you go for it, you feel good about yourself. I take responsibility and never blame people. I make mistakes once and I learn the lesson. I take risks. I honor my word. I put my goals up and I read them. I balance my life. It doesn't get easier later, it just gets later. You know, one of these days you have to take a stand. So, go ahead and switch, yeah. These are some good questions to ask yourself. Am I doing what it takes? Am I investing in myself? Am I persistent? Am I optimistic? Do I stay away from losers? Right? Am I keeping my commitments? Am I an example for those around me? And am I ready to take charge of my life? Are you ready to take charge of your life? Yes! Are you ready to take charge of your life? Yes! Is it going to be easy? No! And you can still have fun. How many of you like to have fun? That's it. Next slide. Very good. So the truth is, who's the answer to your problems? You are. You see, who's the answer to your life? Who's the answer to making your dreams come true? Who's in charge of whether or not you're successful or not successful in sales? That's right. Now, do all of you want to be in sales? No, of course not. But I want to show you a few things. Okay, go ahead. Right? So you're the secret. And you continue to tell yourself this. I will do it myself. I will inspire myself. I'm never going to whine anymore or complain. I study sales, if that's what you want to do. I'm willing to do it differently. I achieve my own success like that. Just like that. And some days, if you get into a situation where you're feeling down, you go to the mirror and you look at yourself and you affirm yourself. I am great. You right there, you in front of me, you're awesome, you're amazing. And you go out there today and you have a great time and you kick and you do it. Okay, go. See, this is the way that I do it. I plan my life and I live my plan. Next. In order for me to be the best for others, I have to be the best for me. Because if you are not the best for you, and what happens is you become weak. And then you can't be there for other people, so you have to make yourself strong. Take your piece of paper out again. And I want you to write at the top, I am the best. And then put a blank there and say, because I am the best. I am the best student because. I am the best Isaac representative. Whatever role that you want to put in there, you put that in there. And then on the left column, you write, because I always and I never. Because if you're going to be the best, you have to set your own standards. So I'm going to give you 1 minute. How many of you want to be second best? So what are some things that you always do to be the best? I am the best student because I always do my assignments. I always go to class. I never skip an assignment. And these are things that we have to reach for. And the big question is, are you willing to live up to your own chosen standards? We all set our own standards in life. Okay, next slide. All right, put your pens and your paper down. Very good, and you can continue to do this later. You see, these self-defeating thoughts, they're in your mind all the time, and they're like an anchor, and what they do is they keep you stuck. Okay, and this is what creates your boundary. The more self-defeating thoughts that you have, the smaller that your circle is. Go ahead, forward. And this is your comfort zone. If you're inside your comfort zone and you're very weak, like if you're afraid to go talk to people about a sale or selling something, and you're weak inside here, you get to your edge of your comfort zone, what do you normally do when you're afraid? Do you jump out there? No, you go back in. Okay? So there's all these things that we want to accomplish in our life. One of them could be in sales. One of them could be getting your degree. Another one could be getting married. Another one could be traveling around the world, or whatever it might be. And if you're inside your comfort zone, okay, and you get scared and you go back in, what actually ends up happening, right, go ahead, is that your comfort zone gets smaller. But you see, all the aspirations that you've had, the goals that you had, they stayed exactly where they were. But now you feel smaller, so these feel further away. Go ahead. So let me hear it. What does it say up there? Let me hear everybody say it, nice and loud. So you have to be uncomfortable in order to expand yourself, to evolve. Go ahead. You see? Go ahead, one more. See, this is what this is all about. It's about expanding your self-esteem, expanding your confidence, and the more that you put yourself out here to do the things that are uncomfortable, like sitting yourself down to study, or to go into a sales presentation, or to approach a person if you're shy. You put yourself outside here, go ahead, and this is what happens. Your self-esteem goes up, it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it never stays the same. So if you don't continue to push yourself outside, you end up shrinking. So, let's go ahead and skip this. Next. Okay, let's talk about sales real quick, okay? Because sales is nothing more than communication. It's the way that you talk to yourself. So, go ahead, next slide. Sales really is about asking questions. You know, I studied all kinds of different sales processes over the years, and this little thing that I'm going to show you now is the easiest, most simple way to do sales, no matter what you're doing. And really, if it's selling yourself or an interview, it's the same thing. So it's all about asking questions, because questions help you understand other people's objectives. If your objective is to help them, you know, go ahead, next. Okay, questions help them understand how their problems are affecting other areas of their life, their job, their business. Questions help them to discover the benefits for accepting or buying your solution. Go ahead. Questions help you and them reduce risk. And this is the idea. If you can get it in your idea that sales is all about asking the right question, you'll be successful beyond your imagination. And it's the same thing in life, because questions are in fact the answers. So if you ask yourself tough questions like, am I living up to my standards? Right? It's a good question. I ask a client a good question like, how can Isaac help you reach your objectives? It's all about questions. Go ahead. This is sort of the model, and I'm going to explain this in a second. This is the model that I keep imprinted in my mind about sales. Okay? It's like this big circle, which is like the overall situation. What are the objectives? Well, I have this objective, this objective, this objective, this objective, and this objective. And then you ask a question. Well, tell me more about this. Tell me more about that. Tell me more about that. So you're asking questions. Go ahead, next slide. Very good. One important thing to remember is that you need to get to the decision.